Hey everybody, welcome back to the NerdNest. I'm Bill, and I am taking a break from working on my Switch 2 full review. I have my first impressions up. My full review is going to come out later on this week, but I had to take a break from it. And the reason that I had to take a break from it was because at Summer Games Fest today, Microsoft made some absolutely massive announcements, and I wanted to stop what I was doing, sit down, and tell you about these because I think that this is very, very interesting. They just revealed that they do have a handheld that they're working on. They are working on it with Asus. The leaked images that we saw, the rumors were true. The Xbox handheld has now been officially announced, and it's called the ROG Xbox Ally. That's the white one. And then there's the black one, which is the ROG Xbox Ally X. From here on out throughout the video, I will just call them the white one and the black one. To me, it seems like these announcements are almost a shot-for-shot response to criticisms that we have been sending their way on the podcast and in videos for a long time. Things that make Windows kind of hard to use. If we rewind to before the Steam Deck came out, sitting down to use a Windows PC, you always had to have a keyboard and a mouse, and that's just the way it was. We didn't know that there was a better way. I'm sure that somebody else out there had found another way to use a controller as their main way of interfacing with Windows, but for most people, we'd never really thought of the controller as a way to control Windows. Well, then Valve released the Steam Deck 3 years ago, and when they released it, we all said, wow, this is really a great way to interface with a computer, just using a controller. I don't have to have a mouse and a keyboard. It's really, really nice. Fast forward to when the ROG Ally came out, the first one, the original one, with the Z1 Extreme chipset. And Asus tried to solve for that problem by making Armory Crate. Lenovo did the same thing by making Legion Space. I would say that Armory Crate, in my opinion, worked a little bit better than Legion Space. And it was okay, but it was clearly a Band-Aid over top of Windows, which was, I'm not going to say it was broken, but for me, it was a frustrating experience to try and use, especially as somebody who wants to have my PC hooked up to my TV over there and just sit on my couch and play and never have to touch a mouse and a keyboard. So I think it's safe to say that I am way more excited about the software announcements today than I am the hardware announcements today. But, the hardware announcements are exciting as well. So let's talk about the hardware announcements, specifically that there's two of them, the white one and the black one. How are they different? What makes the white one different than the black one? Well, first off, they have the same shell, just a different color. They both have the same screen, which is the same screen that's in the ROG Ally X, which is a very nice screen, 120 hertz VRR display. Huge fan of that screen. It's very nice. 7 inches is a little on the small side, I think, with the advent of the Legion Go S and the Nintendo Switch 2 kind of ballooning up screen sizes, and of course the original Legion Go with that huge 8.8-inch screen. But when you look at the screen on the ROG Ally, it's a really, really good screen. The one on the Ally X is the same one, and the panels are also going to be used in these two. So what's different about these two then? Now, the white one will be targeting 720p gaming. That's because it's running the Z2A chipset. I don't know much about the Z2A chipset. I watched a video from Dave2D, which I'll link down below if you want to check it out. And he said that he was told it's going to be a little bit more powerful than the Van Gogh chipset, codename Aerith, which is in the Steam Deck. Whether or not that is going to be as efficient as the Steam Deck remains to be seen, but they are both AMD chipsets, and I would assume that AMD has taken what they learned by making the Van Gogh chipset and applied it to the Z2A chipset. I really hope so anyway. The black one is going to have the Z2 Extreme chipset, which is, according to Dave 2D, again, going to be roughly 15% more powerful than the Z1 Extreme chipset. So not a huge boost, but definitely a boost nonetheless. This is the same chipset that we're expecting to see in the Lenovo Legion Go. In addition to having different chipsets, the black one is also going to have more RAM, faster RAM, Thunderbolt. It's also going to have the impulse triggers, which are like the triggers that are on Xbox controllers, which are really nice, but not as good as the ones that are on, say, PlayStation controllers, but they're still pretty good. I like them a lot. And then it's also going to have a big ass 80 watt hour battery, which is awesome news to hear. That's like the best thing about the ROG Ally X is that it has that huge 80 watt hour battery. You can play on that thing. Like, I do not ever run that thing out of battery life, and the Z1 Extreme chipset is not a very efficient chipset. So having that massive battery in there, really, really good news. I think I would also assume that having an 80 watt hour battery in there, you wouldn't get the same battery life as you will on, say, the ROG Ally X, because the Ally X is running a lower power chipset than the black one. And that's something just to keep in mind. I bet you we're going to have worse battery life on that, but I don't know how much worse. But none of that is the exciting part. The exciting part is what Sarah Bond, who's the current head of Xbox, had to say about Microsoft's plan going forward, because they said some really fantastic things in this presentation, starting with this.
So we're building an Xbox experience designed for players, not locked to a single store or tied to one device.
Previously, Microsoft was trying to control our experience with the PC, and it did not work out well for them. And I think it worked out well for Apple, because Apple made the App Store a good experience. The experience of using the Microsoft Store or the Xbox, like buying Xbox games on your PC, is not a good experience. And I think that that's the reason why Microsoft had to do an about face, because nobody ever wants to buy games through their app. They always want to do it some other way. And I love that what they said was that we're not trying to lock you to a single store. We are going to let you use all of the stores that you have on your device. And they specifically called out Steam and Epic Games Store and GOG. You know, they specifically named other stores that you would be able to use. This is no longer just rumors. Remember those screenshots we saw months ago that showed the Xbox like plans, and you saw a Steam logo right in the middle of it? It's true.
On this Xbox, you can play games across your entire library, including all the Windows PC game stores, from Xbox and Battle.net to Steam, GOG, and Ubisoft Connect.
This is exactly what they're doing, and it's exactly what they should be doing, because it's making using PC as a Windows as a gaming system much more user friendly, and that is the thing that I love. She also went back and talked a little bit about the hardware that they announced. She said that this is an Xbox you can hold in your hands. And I kind of take issue with that, because when you look at Microsoft's offering with Xbox, specifically the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, one of the things that they are always talking about is backwards compatibility. They are really good about backwards compatibility. Obviously, not every game is going to be supported, but most games from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One to Xbox Series, they're backwards compatible. You can play them. I must admit, I never go back and play my old my older Xbox games, but I could if I wanted to, for the most part. That said, they're all Xbox games. They're not PC games. And there are some games that are Xbox games and are PC games. And there are some games that are only Xbox games and they are not PC games. So when Sarah Bond says, what did she say again?
The Xbox Ally is an Xbox you can hold in your hands.
Okay. Can it play my Xbox 360 games? Can it play my Xbox One games? Can it play my original Xbox games? Obviously, not if it's on a disc. But if I bought a game digitally and that's on my account, can I play that game? Are they going to do some kind of emulation in order to allow me to play the games that I otherwise wouldn't be able to? That is a licensing minefield that Microsoft is going to have to tiptoe through. And I think it was a recent episode of the NerdNest podcast. I was talking to my friends on there, and we were talking about what Microsoft should do. And I think it was on the podcast. It might have just been a video, but I believe I suggested that they just put it on the publishers. Just say, hey, all of our games are available for you to play no matter where you want to play them. They call it Xbox Play Anywhere. And she specifically talks about this, and I'll give you her quote in a second. But what I said that they should do is just say, hey, our games are Xbox Play Anywhere. If you want other publishers to make their games as Xbox Play Anywhere, then tell them, and maybe they will listen. By letting the customers put the pressure on the publishers for them, I think it makes Microsoft's job a whole lot easier in the long run. Here's what Sarah Bond had to say about it.
We have always wanted you to have the unique experience of Xbox on any screen. That's why we're investing in Xbox Play Anywhere. Whether you're playing on console, PC, smart TV, or any Windows handheld like the new Xbox Ally, the Xbox experience roams with you. Your library, progression, friends, and achievements. There are over 1,000 Xbox Play Anywhere games on Xbox today.
And it also seems like they are really working to make sure that a controller is the only device that you need unless you want to use a mouse and a keyboard. But it seems like they're making it so a controller is the only device that you're going to need in order to interact with this new system, this new version of Windows that is focused on gaming. And I think that that is absolutely huge. When you hear me talk about using Windows, my number one gripe is not bloat. I always hear people talk about bloat. And sure, we have seen benchmarks. I recently posted a video comparing SteamOS to Windows, and SteamOS kind of won out on most cases when it came to benchmarks. But power is not what my complaints were. My complaints were that the controller was always a second-class citizen. Well, it seems like what Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to fix it so their Xbox app is now going to launch when you turn on the device. It's going to be front and center. It's not going to load in desktop mode and then just try and cover up desktop mode. Instead, it's going to have a gaming-focused mode, just like SteamOS does, which means I won't have to reach for a mouse and keyboard when I'm playing a game. No more worrying about UAC prompts, no more worrying about launchers and not being able to interact with them using my controller and having to reach for a mouse every time. Marvel Rivals, I'm looking at you. Every time I launch that game, a little yellow button pops up and then I have to grab a mouse and click on it just to make that go away so that I can play on my TV. All of that is going to be gone. And you will also be able to hit a button and see all of the apps or games that you are currently running and tab between them using the D-pad. This is going to make playing games on Windows so much easier. And all of the times that you've heard me complain about Windows, I know that people are like, they hate Microsoft. I don't hate Microsoft. I have no problem with Microsoft. I just think they have a bad UI for playing games with a controller. If Microsoft can solve this problem, then I have no problem just leaving Windows on my computer over there on my TV. And I will have no problem leaving Windows on, say, my ROG Ally X or my Lenovo Legion Go or the Legion Go S or the Legion Go 2 or whatever other Windows handhelds come out, like the white one or the black one, whose names I keep forgetting. But what do you guys think about this? Are you more excited for the hardware announcements? Are you more excited for the software announcements? Or are you indifferent because you're somebody who just wants to stick to SteamOS? Or are you somebody who thinks it's too little too late? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. From the Nerd Nest, I'm Bill. Stay rad, and thanks for watching.